Let's talk about failure. Not the small mistake kind. Not the oops I forgot kind. I'm talking about the kind of failure that hits you in the chest. The kind that makes you question yourself. The kind that makes you sit quietly and stare at the wall at 2 a.m. thinking, is this even worth it? That kind of failure. Because the truth is, nobody teaches you how to deal with it. Everybody loves the success story, the highlight reel, the before and after transformation. But no one shows you the nights where you didn't sleep. The days you showed up with a fake smile. The moments you felt embarrassed, defeated, and tired of trying. And if you're in that place right now, listen to me carefully. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of the real you. It's the moment life stops being a joke and your purpose starts being tested. See, success doesn't build people. Comfort doesn't build people. Winning doesn't build people. Failure does. Failure is the gym of the mind. Failure is the teacher you didn't ask for, but needed the most. And right now, I don't care if you're a student, an entrepreneur, an employee, or someone trying to fix their life. If you failed, you're not broken. You're being built. You want to know what failure really is? Failure is proof you tried. Failure is proof you stepped into the arena. Failure is proof you were brave enough to risk looking stupid in front of people who never even had the courage to start. Most people live their entire life inside safety. They talk about dreams. They talk about goals. They talk about one day. But you stepped out. You took the shot. And even if you missed, that puts you above most people already. Because you can't win if you never play. You can't grow if you never struggle. And you can't become unstoppable if you've never been humbled. Now let me tell you something that will change everything. The world doesn't destroy you with failure. You destroy yourself by what you start believing after failure. You fail once and you start calling yourself a failure. You fall once and you start thinking you're weak. You lose once and you start assuming you're not meant for greatness. But here's the reality. You are not your results. You are your decisions. You are your discipline. You are your ability to get up again when it hurts. And when life knocks you down, your job is not to cry about it. Your job is to learn from it. Your job is to rise again with more intelligence, more strategy, and more hunger. Because failure is not punishment. Failure is feedback. It's life saying, not like that. Try again, but smarter. Look at every successful person you admire. Every single one of them failed. Some failed publicly. Some failed painfully. Some failed so badly they were laughed at. But they didn't stop. They didn't quit. They didn't take failure as a final answer. They took it as training. See, people think successful people are lucky. No. They're obsessed. They're consistent. They're disciplined. And they didn't let their feelings decide their future. Because motivation is not what wins. Discipline wins. Let me say that again. Motivation is not what wins. Discipline wins. Motivation is temporary. Comes and goes like the weather. But discipline shows up even when you're tired. Discipline shows up even when you feel depressed. Discipline shows up even when you don't feel like it. That's why discipline changes lives. And failure is where discipline is born. Now listen to me, students. You fail an exam, and you feel like your life is over. Like you disappointed your parents. Like you wasted time. Like you're behind. But let me tell you something. That exam does not define you. That result does not define you. Your future is not decided by one paper. Your future is decided by what you do after the loss. If you fail today and still show up tomorrow, you're already winning. If you feel embarrassed but still study again, you're already winning. If you have fear but still try again, you're already winning. Because winners don't win because they never fail. Winners win because they don't quit. Your grades are important, yes, but your mindset is more important. Because someone with average grades and strong discipline will beat someone with talent and no consistency every single time. Talent is nothing without work. Potential is nothing without action. And dreams are nothing without sacrifice. So if you failed, good. Now you know where you are weak. Now you know what you need to improve. Now you know you can't depend on luck. Now you must depend on effort. And effort is something you can control. Now entrepreneurs, listen to me. Entrepreneurship is failure with a fancy name. You'll launch something and nobody will buy. You'll post content and nobody will watch. You'll start a business and the market won't care. You'll do everything right and still lose money. You'll feel alone. You'll feel stupid. You'll feel like giving up. But listen carefully. If you're not failing, you're not pushing hard enough. Failure is not a sign you should stop. Failure is a sign you're learning the game. Because business is not about ideas. Business is about execution. And execution takes time. Execution takes tests. Execution takes mistakes. And the market doesn't reward the one who dreams the most. The market rewards the one who stays consistent the longest. I'll tell you the ugly truth. Most entrepreneurs quit right before the breakthrough. Most people stop when it starts getting difficult. But the moment you keep going when it hurts, that's when you separate yourself from the crowd. Because success is not crowded. Success is lonely. Success is quiet. Success is built when nobody is watching. And failure? Failure is the entrance fee. You don't get to skip it. You pay the price or you stay average. Now listen. There is something dangerous about failing. Not the failure itself, but the shame. Shame makes people silent. Shame makes people hide. Shame makes people stop trying. Shame makes people pretend they're fine while they're dying inside. But shame is a liar. Tells you that you're alone. Tells you that you're the only one struggling. It tells you that everyone else is winning. But the truth is, everyone is struggling. Everyone is fighting something. Some people are just better at hiding it. And you know what? The people who shame you for failing, they don't matter. They don't pay your bills. They don't live your life. They don't feel your pain. And they won't be there when you succeed. So stop caring about people who only show up to clap for the finish line but disappear during the struggle. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need you to believe in you. Because even if nobody supports you, your life is still your responsibility. Now here's the part nobody tells you. Failure is not always loud. Sometimes failure looks like procrastination. Sometimes failure looks like delaying your goals. Sometimes failure looks like staying in comfort while your dreams die slowly. And this is the worst kind of failure. Because it doesn't hurt immediately. It destroys you slowly. One day at a time. You keep saying, tomorrow. You keep waiting for motivation. You keep waiting for the right moment. But the right moment is not coming. The right moment is created. And the only way to create it is to start. Even scared. Even unsure. Even unprepared. Start anyway. Because action creates confidence. Not thinking. Action creates strength. Not talking. Action creates results. Not wishing. Now listen carefully. Your biggest enemy is not failure. Your biggest enemy is comfort. Comfort makes you lazy. Comfort makes you weak. Comfort makes you stop growing. Comfort makes your mind soft. And a soft mind cannot survive hard times. If you want success, you must become hard. You must become mentally strong. You must become disciplined. You must build a mind that can handle pressure without breaking. Because life will pressure you. People will doubt you. Money problems will hit. Stress will hit. And if you're not strong, you will collapse. But you don't become strong by winning easily. You become strong by surviving what you thought you couldn't survive. That's why failure is your friend. Failure is training. Failure is preparation. Failure is conditioning your mind. And one day, when you finally succeed, you won't even be surprised. Because you'll know how much you earned it. Now I want to ask you something. What if failure is not happening to you? What if it is happening for you? What if failure is redirecting you? What if it is teaching you patience? What if it is building your character? What if it is removing the weak version of you? Because every time you fail, you have two options. You can either quit and become bitter, or you can learn and become better. You can either break down and complain, or you can level up and adapt. And adaptation is the secret to winning. Not motivation, not talent, not luck. Adaptation. The person who adapts always wins. Now hear this. You're going to fail more. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm telling you the truth so you're prepared. You're going to fail again. You're going to lose again. You're going to get rejected again. You're going to feel pain again. But the difference is, next time you'll handle it better. Next time you'll be smarter. Next time you'll know what to fix. And one day you will look back and realize, failure was the best thing that ever happened to you. Because it forced you to become serious. It forced you to stop playing around. It forced you to build habits. It forced you to get disciplined. It forced you to become a warrior. Let's talk about rejection. Because rejection is a type of failure that kills people from inside. You get rejected from a job. You get rejected by clients. You get rejected by people you love. And you start thinking you're not enough. But rejection is not always about your value. Sometimes rejection is protection. Sometimes rejection is redirection. Sometimes rejection is life saving you from something you can't see. And sometimes rejection is simply the cost of playing a bigger game. If you want big success, you must accept big rejection. You must accept people not understanding you. You must accept people judging you. You must accept being lonely. Because greatness is not normal. And normal people don't understand abnormal dreams. So if they reject you, smile. Because that means you're not average. Now listen. The reason most people stay stuck after failure is because they make it personal. They say, I failed, so I'm not good enough. No. You failed because you're learning. You failed because you're trying. You failed because you're building skills. And skill takes time. Nobody becomes a master in one day. Nobody becomes successful overnight. That overnight success you see, it's always years of struggle hidden behind it. Years of pain. Years of mistakes. Years of sacrifice. Years of failure. So stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Stop looking at people's results and forgetting their process. You have a different path. You have a different story. And you have to earn your own success. Now let's get real. Sometimes failure makes you tired. It makes you emotionally exhausted. You feel like there's no point. You feel like you've tried too much. You feel like quitting. And in that moment, you need to understand something. You don't need a new life. You need a new day. You don't need to restart everything. You need to restart your mind. You need to reset your thoughts. You need to remember why you started. And you need to stop expecting everything to be easy. Because easy does not create greatness. Difficulty creates greatness. Pressure creates diamonds. Fire creates steel. And pain creates champions. So when you fail, don't cry and stop. Cry if you have to, but then stand up and keep going. Keep walking even if your legs shake. Keep studying even if your brain is tired. Keep building even if nobody supports you. Because you're not doing this for applause. You're doing this for your future. And your future needs you to be strong. Now I want you to realize this. Success is not a destination. It is a lifestyle. It is daily work. It is daily discipline. It is daily struggle. Because even after you succeed, you'll face new problems, bigger problems, harder challenges, more pressure. So don't look at success like it's the end. Look at success like it's the next level. And failure is the entrance exam. Now let me give you a simple formula. Fail, learn, adjust, try again. Fail, learn, adjust, try again. That's it. That's how champions are made. Not by magic, not by talent, by repetition, by persistence, by refusing to quit. Because quitting is the only real failure. As long as you keep going, you are still in the game. As long as you wake up and try again, you are still alive. As long as you're breathing, you still have a chance. Now listen to this carefully. Your failure does not mean you are finished. Your failure means you are being tested. Your failure means life is asking you, how bad do you want it? How much are you willing to sacrifice? How strong are you when nobody claps? Because anyone can work hard when they are winning. But can you work hard when you are losing? That's the real question. And that's the difference between average and great. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine you didn't quit. Imagine you kept going. Imagine you failed 10 times and still tried again. Imagine you got rejected and still applied again. Imagine you lost money and still built again. Imagine your friends laughed and you still continued. Then one day, you succeed. You win. You achieve the goal. And in that moment, you realize something powerful. You were always capable. You just needed patience. You just needed consistency. You just needed faith in yourself. And that faith is built through failure. So today, if you are broken, good. Because broken people rebuild stronger. If you are tired, good. Because tired people learn discipline. If you are struggling, good. Because struggle means growth is happening. And if you failed, perfect. Because now you are awake. Now you are serious. Now you are ready. Now you will stop wasting time. Now you will stop living for people. Now you will stop choosing comfort. Now you will choose greatness. And greatness is not comfortable. Greatness is earned. So here's your message. Stop fearing failure. Use it. Respect it. Learn from it. Turn it into fuel. Because failure does not destroy winners. Failure creates them. Now take a deep breath. Stand up. Fix your posture. And remember who you are. You are not a quitter. You are not weak. You are not finished. You are in training. Your comeback is loading. And when you return, you won't just return stronger. You will return unstoppable. So fail again. Try again. Rise again. Because the world doesn't reward the one who starts. The world rewards the one who never quits. And your story is not over. Your story is just getting started.